The legendary story of my great-aunt, my grandmother's older sister. When my great-aunt was young, she fell ill, and during this time, she was possessed by a spirit. Afterward, she gained supernatural abilities and often helped others by diagnosing illnesses, solving problems, and providing guidance. There was an incident in our village where a person went missing. Many people searched for a long time but only found the tools he had been working with before he disappeared. At that time, my great-aunt happened to be staying at our house. The villagers asked her where the person was. She replied, "He's covered by a green paper." After discussing her words, the villagers went to search near the river where his tools were found and discovered his body under a bridge in a pool. Later, it was found out that he had been pushed into the river by two people who had a grudge against him. Because my grandfather was a businessman and had a good financial situation, he bought quite a bit of land in our hometown. After the Communist Party came to power, even though my grandfather actively donated to the party, giving away his store properties and funds, the government labeled him as an advanced model of capitalist reform. He was then appointed manager of the Xianyang People's Theater, which he had helped fund. However, back in our hometown, my grandmother was labeled with a high social status, and my uncle, my father's brother, was not well liked. In the 1960s, China was in turmoil, and the village head was a bad person who took advantage of the situation to target my uncle. My uncle was ill at that time, but the village head deliberately assigned him heavy labor. Because he was sick, he worked slowly. They held struggle sessions against him at night. Despite being ill and working heavy labor during the day, and being criticized at night, my uncle kept a positive mindset, believing he had done nothing wrong. However, the family was still worried and went to my great-aunt for help. After understanding the situation, she replied, "You will hear news within 7 days." On the 7th day at noon, the village head suddenly fell ill in his office, collapsed, and was declared dead by emergency responders. Levels of spirit possession. Spirit possession has different levels. When possessed by lower-level spirits, the person cannot speak but will tremble. With mid-level spirits, the person can speak but still trembles. When possessed by higher-level spirits, the person appears normal and does not tremble, and converses as usual. When higher-level deities possess a person, the person's consciousness is usually partially aware, understanding what the spirit is saying, but sometimes not remembering the content afterward. Higher-level deities might also switch who they possess, similar to the rotation of officials in the human world. True deities usually have an imperial edict from the Jade Emperor, but some spirits might impersonate deities, requiring wisdom to discern their authenticity. Most spirits lean towards Taoist practices and seldom involve Buddhist teachings. If a deity wants to possess someone, it requires the person's consent or certain conditions. However, lower-level spirits often force possession, preying on weak individuals. Those with the ability to see spirits' yin-yang eyes are particularly susceptible, especially to lower-level animal spirits. Possessed individuals often enjoy sensing spiritual phenomena and become attached to these experiences. Once they resonate with spirits, they risk entering the spirit realm after death. Purpose of possession. There are two main purposes for possession: accumulating merit or seeking revenge. Spirits aiming to accumulate merit might help others through the possessed person, but often disrupt the law of cause and effect due to their lack of understanding of Buddhist principles. Those who seek spiritual experiences are more likely to attract spirits. Vengeful spirits cause physical and mental suffering to the possessed. Spiritual experiences are impermanent and obstruct Buddhist practice. Establishing correct Buddhist views helps avoid entanglement with spirits. Through repentance, practice, and reconciliation with past grievances, one can gradually resolve possession issues and ultimately escape the cycle of rebirth. Conclusion. My great-aunt, unfortunately, did not practice correct cultivation, and after her passing, a psychic informed our family that she had not achieved enlightenment and remained in the cycle of reincarnation. On the other hand, my grandfather, who had a proper mentor and diligent practice, achieved enlightenment and continues to practice in the Huashan Pure Land with other masters. May my great-aunt and all those who practice diligently achieve enlightenment and escape the cycle of rebirth.